tell them run it up. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Ebony Sports supporters in the house. You got Coach Bernard Brown in the house. Coach Bernard Brown, state champion right there, state champion twice. Then you got Coach Rob DeLoach, who's producing men and women, producing champions all around. Coach Rob DeLoach. And then got Brother Julius Hall, the head of, the ringleader of our networks, our sports networks, our news network, all that ATR, our black media, and then you got Brother Jamal. So
hey,
now
why wasn't I called Coach?
Huh?
Why wasn't I called Coach too?
Okay, Coach Julius Hall. Okay, Coach Julius Hall. Okay, all right. And I'm just getting back here. Because this is one of my contracts right here. This is one of my contracts. Bernard Brown, here's my contract. This is one of my contracts. See, I did an ATR contract like this, but again, I'm back here in the city. Came back from Defusky because Beach High School senior classes used to always take a day trip to Defusky all the time. And so now to the artists, I gotta say this right here. Let me give y'all a caveat. We're going to start out with some things. We're going to start out with 2 high schools in particular. Some things going with 2 high schools. We're going to have to acknowledge them right now. And I should say, even some alums from the high school. And the first thing we're going to throw out to y'all, there's someone who's in the running to become the head coach for Savannah State football team. That is Lamar Owens, whose family is tied to Tompkins High School, even though he went to another high school, and he also went on to the U.S. Navy and Georgia Tech. So, Coach Rob DeLoach, what's your perspective with regards to Lamar Owens? Because, again, I know the Tompkins family people that's on the show, they are happy about that. They like that. What's your thoughts about that, Coach DeLoach?
Hey, man, when he gave me the call, I was excited. I asked him, could I spread the great news? And I'm excited for him. Hope he gets opportunity. I think it'll be huge, not only for Lamar, it'll be huge for the city of Savannah to have one of our own actually coaching HBCU. Yeah. And, I mean, who better than to have Lamar Owens Jr., who's played it from the top to the bottom, you know? Right. Hell of a young man. I mean, I'm excited for him. And hopefully we can rally behind him, the community, and push for him to be the next coach of Savannah State University Tigers.
That's why I'm going to throw that out there to Julius Hall. What needs to be done for us to get Lamar Owens in there to be the head coach of Savannah State?
I think that we all need to find out the phone number to the athletic director and to the school president and start calling them and tell them that I'm buying season tickets if he's the coach. We need to make sure that we let them be on notice that this is who we want, this is who we're going to support, and this is who we're going to have our sons play for if you make him the coach.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, Coach Bernard Brown, why would it be important to have somebody like Lamar Owens as the coach for the football team for the Tigers? Why would that be important?
Number one is he came from a great family. I played with his daddy at Tompkins High School, Lamar Sr., and it will help to keep the local talent here in Savannah. And that's the key to every situation when you come to different city. They try to keep that local talent here instead of let it go on everywhere else. And I guarantee you, if every athlete that stay here in Savannah, Georgia, and go to Savannah State, they'll be a powerhouse. They absolutely be. And I think with his face, local, I don't think it ever happened. And it had any local Savannah State. Only person was assistant coach, Coach Turner. He was assistant coach after he left Tucson High School. He went to Savannah State. But I don't think there was a head coach locally from Savannah State. And that's a huge, big deal right there to go there and keep that local talent here in Savannah.
Not only local talent, he's a national guy. He has relationships with coaches around the country that he can help bring in kids that normally wouldn't even look at Savannah State.
Right.
And you guys know it's all about relationships in this business here.
Yeah.
And me personally, I think he can reach far more than any other coach that they can actually offer at this particular time. I don't even know who's all in running, but it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
If I had a vote, Lamar Owens Jr. would be head coach of Savannah State University until he gets tired of being a coach.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
That
right.
name sound good too. Lamar Owens Jr., Savannah State head football coach. That got a good title to it.
Yeah.
I have an announcement to make. Rob DeLoach, you are now officially an honorary Wolverine.
I'll take that. Those are great roots. Those are great roots.
Hey, those are some good roots. Yes,
great
sir.
roots.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate that. A lot of my great friends are Wolverines. None of my friends went to Savannah Christian.
Yeah, Jamal just hating. He just hating.
I have not said anything at all. I have not said anything at all. But I will go and say this right here. I had said nothing. I was listening. And to the artists, we said you share Ebony Sports Reporters. And I was going to say again, I was not going to say nothing, but I was going to tell Bernard Brown, he made an excellent point. And that was the second point. He didn't have to bring up the fact of, he had come from a great family. And that's why I said to the artists out there, you all checking the show out tonight. It's going to be a Beach High School and a Tompkins, start out for everything. That's going to be the appetizer for the show because I can't help it. You see how they already bragging about it right now. Honorary Tompkins Wolverine, all this other stuff like that. And this was not what I had expected. But again, to the audience, this is what's going on. This is what's happening tonight. Did not Bernard Brown. You had to bring that up. So, but now we're going to move on to something else. Again, it's going to be some prejudicial stuff happening with Ebony Sports Reporters tonight. So again, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to take the punishment. Bernard Brown, what's happening regarding the Final Four in the GSHSA? What's happening, GHSA? What's happening in Final Fours that are happening right now that's relevant to us?
We got Beach High School in the Final Four. We got Windsor Forest in the Final Four. And we got the Wolverine Tonkin High School in the Final Four. And those, one thing about it, Windsor Forest and Beach, if they handle their business, those two going to be playing for the state championship. Two Savannah team playing for the state championship in Savannah. That's you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. And then, Wolverines, I think right now, and I ain't trying to be biased on it, but we probably going to win that state championship again. We gonna get it. We got it in 80, and then we gonna get it in 2022. And you heard it from the Ebony Sports Reporter out of Coach Brown Mount. Yes, sir.
Again, to the audience, I told you what type of night we're about to have. Again, Lamar Owens Jr. Now we go to the Final Four. Coach DeLoach, I will now go ahead and fall on the knife right now. So, Coach DeLoach, what needs to happen for us with regards to the Final Four, with regards to teams that we have out there? Since you got a pulse on some of them right now. Go ahead, Coach DeLoach. I'm falling on the knife.
No, I want you to stand up. Take it like a man. No one picked the AE Beach Bulldogs to be relevant this season.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about us all season. They talked about Windsor Forest with the kid committed to Georgetown. Big shout out to Groves High School. No facilities. They made it to the Elite Eight. Johnson, Coach Chuckover is doing a wonderful job. Second year head coach. And then here we are talking about Simon Haywood, former football player, head coach. Awesome young man that I had the pleasure of meeting.
Nice.
Driving the Beach High Bulldogs to the Final Four. And nobody even know who the top players are.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about them all year. So we like it like that. We like the underdog role. And hopefully those guys can rally behind, not be afraid of the big moment.
Mm-hmm.
And represent Savannah very well. And then, hopefully we're playing in the championship game against another cross-town, I won't even say rivalry, but a cross-town school, which is one of the farthest high school out of the 912 Savannah, Georgia. So shout out to all of the coaches that are helping bridge these young men and educating them and, having an opportunity to play basketball at a high level.
Yes.
So Julius Hall, what does it say? What does it say about Chatham County when you have 4 teams from Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia, that were in the Elite 8? What does that say with regards to what we have here and the potential and the possibilities?
Well, it seems like we're grooming and teaching and training our athletes better now with places like 2717 and the work that's being put in over there with getting our athletes to be on another level now. It says a whole lot. It seems like, it used to be Atlanta and Macon, but now it's coming this way. And that athleticism is showing through our players because the coaches here are bringing that out of them, not only making them better athletes, making them better men. So it speaks volumes that, we can get those kids to be on that Division I level. But it also speaks volumes if we can get that Wolverine, that Tompkins High Wolverine as a coach at Savannah State, so some of that talent can stay here instead of going to the other smaller colleges. They can stay here.
Yeah.
And something else I'll throw out to you, Julius Hall. Why is it important with regards to Tompkins also not being in the Final Four? Why is that important with regards to Tompkins, Woodville Tompkins? Why is that important?
Well, it's important because I went there. And it's important because we were closed for 20 years. That school was closed and was a middle school for 20 years, no high school. And so now, it's an academic school, and we're one of the top academic schools in the nation. Me and Bernard went there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know whether you heard me or not, but me and Bernard went there.
Yes,
and
tell them again.
So it's important on that level also that they be recognized not only for being closed for 20 years, being an academic school, but being starting in that division. They're 2A, but they can beat 6A schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say this again to the audience. I told y'all what to expect and see how they just keep flowing with it. And so that's why again, share what's going on, share the information about Lamar Owens Jr. But then again, this is what's happening. So we're gonna move into something else. Coach Rob DeLoach had an idea about something that should be implemented here in Chatham County. And that's with regard to Coach DeLoach. You said that we can compete against one another, but we can work together. And so what's your thoughts and your perspective about that?
Yeah. My thing is, and I just use these 4 young coaches with Coach Kevin at Groves, Simon at Beach, Chuck at Johnson, and one of the other young coaches at Windsor Forest. And I pose this idea: if we can compete against each other on Tuesdays and Friday nights, why can't we, as coaches, have these young men meet on Saturday to work together to make sure they complete their assignments come Monday? So we go from school to school every other week, and they would bring their 3 teams to the respective school, and they would work on homework and just talk about life, because ultimately those kids may have opportunity to go to college together. And with them being from Savannah, it's nothing like having somebody on your team that, although you played against them, and you guys are old enough to know that's how we used to rock. We may have played against each other during the week, but we was gonna hang out and be boys, and then go back across town. And if you ever play ball, I want your best on Tuesday night and Friday night. Yeah. And I want to push you to not only be great on the court, but I need that energy to push them in the classroom as well. And hopefully those young coaches, we can help them bridge those gaps to help our young men realize that we all in this thing together.
Yeah.
And you all are hearing this right now on Ebony Sports Report. Again, like I tell folks, we do breaking things right here. We come in Junior's things. That was Coach DeLoach and so Coach Brown. Why do you think that would be important? Why do you think that would be something that would be necessary and be something that's innovative?
And first of all, I want to give a shout out to my former school that I coached for 4 years, Pebblebrook High School. They's out of Atlanta, Georgia. Coach Washington. You got to win the state. I mean, we done went to everything else. If you didn't win the state, is nothing else. So I want to give a shout out to them.
They can't beat Burtmar.
I don't know Burtmar. Hey, but you know who back in Burtmar? The Yang rappers and all that, and hey. You know,
and my son went there, so
I know your son went there. Your son went there.
But his son went to Jenkins. He transferred from Jenkins, but that's another story.
Yeah. I seen him play at Swanee Sports Academy. Your son when he was but I think if Coach Washington, he got to bring it home. He got to, But back on the subject, and I'll pick it back on what Coach said. It's they on the map right now. These schools right now is on the map, and I'm proud of them. Absolutely, I'm very proud of them. When I'm in Atlanta and I hear Savannah, I mean, I get goosebumps. I be so happy, and they be thinking I done lost my mind. I'll say, hey, this is a great city, great town, great players, and like Coach said, we beat up on each other on Tuesdays and Fridays. Come together on Saturday and make sure these kids can be able to do the work. Just because you're a great athlete, they ain't gonna keep you in there. You got to do your schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? You got to educate your mind, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that you're in the right direction. Because just because you're good, that's not gonna keep you. If you're a great athlete, you basically gonna leave school probably the following year. But if you in the middle and you don't get that schoolwork, you come right back home and then doing something else. So I totally agree with Coach Rob said, and we did it when we were small, and we did. I think if we go back and raise, and not saying raise the kid, but if we go back and put our input on how we was raised up, Julius and Jamar and Rob, how we was raised up, I think this society be better, man. Trust me, it will. We need to get and show to these kids that just how we raised up. Hey, my daddy beat me one time. My mama beat me 1,000,000 times. Trust me. It's the mama. It's the mama. I was scared of my mama. Trust me.
All right. So Julius Hall, what can be done? The plan, the thoughts that Coach Rob DeLoach put out there. What needs to be done for us to try to implement that? What are the voices that we need to contact? I mean, the voices that we need to put out there, and the action that we need to make that happen, because that's an excellent idea.
It is, and we have to be able to pour into these young athletes, because if we're having them to play sports here, we're putting all this money into the facilities and everything. If we have athletes that are stand out, then we need to also be able to make sure that they can function on the next level. So somebody needs to be able to put those funds in place to have those classes and those tutors, so that those they can be ready for the college level. And that's good, what Coach Rob said, because they need this so that they won't have any problem transitioning from high school on to the next level. And not only that, with what Bernard Brown is doing, Coach Bernard Brown is doing there in Atlanta with the AU, we could have that here, where these kids not only are studying and everything together, they can have camps that they're in, making each other better, pushing each other. And that's what it's all about. Teamwork makes the dream work.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
And well, I'll throw something out there, and then I'll open it up for you all to get to add on to this element right here. because they make money off of these athletes also, because those schools are making money. Those schools are getting money. High schools are also getting money. So don't think it's just the colleges, that you also have high schools, because folks are coming out to go see these players.
Yeah.
So now they are making money off of them, but some of them are not getting the education. That's one problem right there. So how do we address that? Then the other one, I want y'all to just think about this and throw out your own thoughts with regards to this. But then also, how do you control the egos of the coaches? Are you sure that these coaches will want to come together and do something like that? Because they're competing, because the coaches got their egos. So I'll open it up for either one of you to go and address those 2 points.
Let me say this here. Let me tell you, when I was coaching, what I was doing. I would, and Coach Turner did this too. I would have in the beginning of practice, I ask anybody, and I always check these girls and these boys' grade. I always check them. And when they come at practice, I ask them a question. I said, y'all doing your schoolwork? Yeah. I said, who in here right now got homework to do? And they say, I do. I make sure they go in the locker room and do their homework before they even come to practice. And if they don't finish their homework, they can't practice. And then if you don't keep up a low B, I give them a benefit of the doubt, you can't play. You can't play. And I don't care what their mama say or anybody. Education, plus me. That's what Coach Turner did. I had made a C in one of my classes. And the teacher told Coach Turner. And then when I came to practice the next day, Coach Turner called me in the locker room in his office, and he hit me with that pad about 20 times. And that C went to an A and stayed to an A for the next 2 years, because that damn paddle hurt. Trust me. You know, and for his egos, that's, you know why the ego is in there? Just like you said earlier, Jamal, they're getting paid. It's a benefit for them. It's money is going around. Trust me. It ain't started. It's middle school, high school, college, period. At the end of the day, you know, it's hard to go take their ego out, but at the end of the day, that's what you need to do. And these kids, you know what? These kids' parents is the one thinking they're the greatest kids in the world. And these parents, be honest, these parents running AAU, these parents running middle school, these parents running the high school, the parents running everything these days. Trust me.
All right. So what's your thoughts? Either one, Brother Julius, or Coach Julius, or Coach Rob. What's your thoughts with regard to that? Because they're making money off these high school kids, these high schools. And then, but then also, how do you control the egos of coaches? Because again, it's about them. It's about them winning.
Well, the other thing is, if they're not winning and kids going to college, then they're not winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to play games. But I had Ben Troop came by the gym the other morning, and Ben in his 4 years of high school won 10 games collectively. Ben went to the University of Florida and went on to the NFL. And those who was at these power schools and teamed up together was fans of him. And, you know, we have to get our kids to understand, if you can play and you got grades, then they'll, you know, it doesn't matter what school you go to. You know, this be the best of where you at. And, you know, we old school. We didn't really care who was on our team. We just played.
Yeah.
You know, and we, like I say, these relationships we formed on the parks, but kids don't play in the park anymore, so they don't know any. They don't go to Tompkins Center and play, you know, ball and go across town. They don't do that. So I'm advocating for, you know, 4 coaches, and then we'll add Coach Jordan there because, you know, he can mentor these young brothers and then bring them together. We got to start somewhere because we're losing too many of our young men to the streets, and we're not preparing them because everybody's not going to play college basketball. Okay, so we got to give them another outlet in the meantime, and you know, help them find a trade or something collectively. And we, you know, the coaches probably spend more time with these kids than the parents. Yeah, because they're at school for 8 hours, and then they're going to practice, and then they go home. And you know, most of these kids going home, mama probably at work, daddy not home, or vice versa. But I think it's a great opportunity. We just got to put some fuel to it, and you know, hold the coaches accountable for helping develop these young men outside of basketball or football, whatever sport they play.
All right, Coach Julius, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the coaches will have to be checked by somebody. Maybe you need an ego checker. You know, we got to have something because it's not about the coach.
Yeah.
It's about the students. And
Coaches
any
come
coach
and go.
that, you know, yeah, if you
Yeah.
think it's about you, then you don't need to be in the game. Now
Mhm.
you're gonna have some people wanting to send their kids to certain coaches because they'll get more of a skill set put into their kids, um, and the conditioning and everything else, and the educational part of it. But the coaches got to have their egos checked at the door, and
Mhm.
it has to be the public that has to check them. When you see something getting out of line, we just got to be able to go ahead and check that culture. We got to have some mechanism in where we could say we can look at this coach and say, hey, he's a little out of control, because then it leads to recruiting students to come to your school under the table. You know, to parents to lie and say that their kids live somewhere else in order to go to that school,
Yeah.
and they putting them in jail all across the country for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for putting your kids in the school, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, you know, it'll be safeguards put in place where a coach understands that he could get in trouble for violating those rules.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to something else. Again, as share with you, Ebony Sports Report, and I'm particular to those of you who are looking at the show tonight. I will say share this because it's something that's important. Because Ebony Sports Reports, we bring up things that other shows don't do. We
Yes.
discuss some things that others don't do. We are innovative about some things. That's why you heard that thought that was conveyed that Coach Rob DeLoach shared with me, and I was like, yeah. When he shared it with me, I was like, oh. I was like, yo, I said, that's it. That's what we need to be doing. Because you see how he had to come to that Jenkins Warrior, like, because almost coming to God, Heavens Be Jenkins High School to go and confirm what was going on. So that was, because again, we liked the idea. Coach DeLoach came up with it. And so we're going to move on to something else that Bernard Brown brought up, Coach Bernard Brown brought up, and Coach DeLoach also talked about it. So we're not going to get into this right here. What I call it scholarships, contracts, performance contracts, grant and aid, academic scholarship. So let's get into it. Performance contracts. That's what they are. Grant and aid contracts, athletic contracts, whatever you want to call it. And athletic, and again, y'all give them the insight. Give the parents the insight, because we want parents to understand it. Because Bernard Brown said it last week. Coach DeLoach Bam was right there. So y'all say, hey, we need to have a conversation about this. And so that's why we got this week right here. So parents who are out there now checking out the show, share. Look at this. Go back to it. Go back on YouTube and check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to get a shout out to this young man, and I coach him. And this is a big position that he got. Jalen Brown. He's now the vice president of the player union in the NBA. The vice president of the player union NBA. That's a big, and I'm gonna tell you the real reason why he got this is because when they had that fool up there in Atlanta, when all hell broke loose, he led the way for them to this pandemic and got people the way they need to be. And I congratulate him for that. But like I said,
let me do something right now. You know, I try not to interweave the shows together, but now Bernard Brown is notorious on America After Dark to jump on people when they do stuff like that. So I'm just saying. So please go ahead and respond and discuss that, because that's something the parents need. We could have gotten to that later on, but you see what he does. But I'm not saying any more about that. Please just look at him, America.
Hey, Jamal, my contract said, hey, rewrite my contract. You talk about contract, rewrite my contract on the sports show. Rewrite.
I got it right here.
There you go, rewrite it. I'm sorry. Rewrite it. Hey, but like me and Coach Rob said last week, is like it's a contract. It's a contract. Everything is a contract when it comes to these kids. It's a 1-year contract. It's a 1-year contract. If you great, it's a 1-year contract. If you great in 2022 and you not great in 2023, your contract is determined is non-void. It's period. It's gone. So it's sad but true, but it is. And people need to realize that you do not get a 4-year scholarship. You do not get a 4-year scholarship. Everything is a year by year by year. Now, if you playing ball or whatever and you that good, you probably gonna stay 1 year and then move on to either the football, basketball, baseball, or anything like that. But parents need to realize when you have these coaches come to your house and say your kid got a 4-year riding scholarship for free, that is not true. That is not true. They got a 1-year scholarship for 1 year, and you need to explain that. I have never seen a contract where you write 4 years on there and you can go to the school for 4 years for free. I ain't never seen none of that, and I've been dealing with sports and everything for over 20-something years. It would never happen. And so when they come in here in your house, you let them know. You be upfront and you be real at the end of the day, period. And that's it. It's a contract now. It used to be a it's a contract. And if somebody who's better than you that following year, then your contract, you probably need to get transferred or whatever. It's about making this school money. It's about being on TV. It's about getting these Nikes, Adidas, and all these contracts for this school. That's what it is. And I'm just saying, they really and truly, to be honest, they're pimping our kids out. And that's what they're doing at the end of the day. And when 2024 comes, kids are allowed to go from high school to the NBA. If you're in the top 10 draft pick, you can go there. If you're not in the top 10, then you can go back to college. So that's coming in 2024. So like I said, Coach Rob and Jules and Jamal, it's a 1-year contract, parents. It's not 4 years. So do not let nobody come to your house and tell you it is.
So, Coach Delos, what's the difference between granting a athletic contract or scholarship and academic? What's the difference in those?
So first of all, so everybody knows there's 77 academic scholarships to 1 athletic scholarship. Mm-hmm. So there's 77 kids at these universities that are on academic scholarships that don't have to dribble a ball, go to no football practice, don't have to run no hurdles. They don't have to do anything other than get their schoolwork. One athletic scholarship, there's 77 academic scholarships. So your chance of going to college are better off about you getting your grades than it is earning an athletic scholarship. Mm-hmm. Now, the athletic scholarship, like Coach Bernard said earlier, yes, it's a 1-year deal. You sign it year to year. And every year you have to renew that. And that's most so based on your performance. Mm-hmm. So if you're not performing, they're going to find a way to ask you to either transfer to another school, and they'll help you find another school, mm-hmm. Because they need to free up that athletic scholarship. The grant aid for some of these lower tier schools, and I want Division II, Division III, they don't have the resources to offer you a full ride.
Yeah.
Especially if they have girls sports because of Title IX.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know last year that Clemson dropped their men's track team because of finances, and they mm-hmm. kept the women's track team at the University of Clemson.
Yeah.
And they were just reinstated this past year. And then as you move to the NAIA schools, you mm-hmm. know, you have to apply for financial aid. And then if you got some grades, it'll package together, you end up getting 100%. Yeah. So there are ways of getting, you know, what some people say will be a full ride, but not understanding that it's not an athletic scholarship. It's a package deal.
Package deal. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where you got grades, and then you get in Georgia, you get the Hope. If you're an exceptional student, you can get mm-hmm. the Zell Miller that pays for everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then depending on your income as a parent, you can get financial aid.
Financial, right.
And then you package all that together, then your child is going to college for free.
Yeah.
But the parents got to get up off their butts, and they got to get out here and make those things happen.
Yeah. And you're right. Can I piggyback on this before Jules go?
Go ahead.
I'm a prime example. My daughter turned out D1, D2, and the reason why she went to D3, it was $45,000 a year to go there. and they package up the financials, the hope, and all that. You know how much I paid? I paid $45 just for the application fee. Everything else, people don't realize Division III on down will give you more money because it's not a scholarship. It's basically a financial package, and they'll give you that. I'd rather tell people to go to D3 because you really, to be honest, I'm paying $45. That's all you paying, and the school is $45,000. You can't beat that. You know, if you good, no matter whether you 3 or NAIA or anything, they're gonna find you. They're gonna find you.
Now the other thing that is, if you are a young man or young woman who can get a full scholarship for that 1 year, and you can get financial aid, that's a lot of money you put in your pocket.
Right. Yeah.
You know, whereas at some of these other schools, you don't get that choice. You're gonna get that Pell Grant every quarter. Or every semester. It just depends. And now I've known kids that got an athletic scholarship. Parents was in the military, died, was getting Social Security, single mom, financial aid. This kid is racking up about $10,000, $12,000 every quarter of money outside of his athletic scholarship. Yeah. So every kid's situation is different on all levels.
Right.
So whether it's D1, D3, NAIA, it's all about, you know, what's coming from the home and their circumstances.
All right. So Julius Hall. Okay, I'm an athlete, but guess what? It's my grandparents who I'm living with. My grandparents are the one raising me. And my grandparents don't necessarily have all this information like that. And so we rely on the recruiters when they come to our house to recruit me, Julius Hall. So what needs to happen with regard to that? Because my grandparents have raised me. So, and they're not fully aware because times have changed. It's like they've been in college like 30 and 40 years ago. So things are a little different.
Well, I think what needs to change, especially here, is that we need to let people in like Coach Bernard and Coach Rob into the school so they can have talks with these students. If the coaches can't do it and don't know these things, then it's incumbent upon the school system to let people in with this knowledge so that these kids can know what they have to do or what they can do, even if you're giving them a handbook and telling them to study it. But I think we also need to go and get some of these big boys out of the band also to put their butts on the football field.
And always like off of one song they're gonna say, always gotta act a fool, boy. Julius Hall, Bernard Brown, always you never could just have a show. One of them always gotta act a fool. Somebody always gotta act a fool. And y'all see how I try to handle myself. I function differently on this show with the other show, but them two right there gotta act a fool.
That was a good one, Drew. That was a good one, boy.
See how they encourage one another? They encourage one another.
There be some big old boys in that band.
There be some big boys in the band.
Big old boys in that band.
Oh, Lord.
I need to get them out that band, send them over to 2717 and get them right.
And see, here go. See, here I had to be the straight man here. Julius and Bernard feed off one another, and Coach Rob, he is the sarcastic. He the one that going to hit you with stuff. He's that type of comedian right there. I'm the straight man. Them two right there, the joke, because he the one come Savannah Christian to ask him. He went to Savannah Christian. That's all 1800 East Savannah Christian. But anyway, we're gonna move on to something else. And so I throw it out there and say I was gonna hit something else, but I'm gonna Dallas Cowboy fans. Give it up. The 1990s is over with, Dallas Cowboy fans. So what's your thoughts on that, Julius Hall? What's your thoughts you guys say to the Dallas Cowboy fans? The 1990s are over with. Move on, please.
Dallas Cowboy fans, this is where he at. Dak, y'all thought Dak was going to be it. Y'all thought Zeke was going to be it. Y'all thought, what that boy named Bryant, who used to beat up everybody. Y'all thought he was going to be it. Look, it ain't happening for y'all. Y'all going to have to just wait till that cycle come back around again. Probably 20 years after I'm gone. You know. And I don't expect to go nowhere for another 40 years. So in 60 years, Dallas Cowboys might have a dynasty again.
All right. So, Coach DeLoach, what's your thoughts with regard to the Dallas Cowboys? Got time for every week. I got to hear something about the Cowboys. I'm like, stop.
Well,
They're not all of that.
I am a avid Cowboy fan. Have been since,
I didn't know that. Don't Julius Hall said I do stuff like this to incite people. I didn't know that, Coach DeLoach.
But that's okay though. But guess what? Dallas Cowboys are not going to win anything until Jerry Jones step away.
Yeah.
You know, but understand this. Jerry wants to win, but Jerry more about that bottom line. As long as people are continue to buy those jerseys and we fronting like we America's team and we on media, it doesn't matter to him. Yeah, he gonna tell everybody he's trying to win and stack the team and all that, but Jerry care about that bottom line. Yeah, being number one when it comes to the revenue. If it's now when he start losing revenue, then he'll get serious about it. But right now, it's a hell of a marketing scheme. That's all he's doing. He sell tickets. He gonna hype you up, and you think we're gonna win every year, and we're gonna let that out the tire. But Jerry gonna look at the bottom line and say, "Hey, I got y'all again." Yeah.
And that's an interesting perspective right there, because again, they got the people across the country, the paraphernalia being purchased, and that again, people are hyped up. And so every week, if you notice on these other shows, they talk about the Cowboys. There's some conversation about them every week.
Right.
When I'm like, they're not that relevant, but again, it keeps them out there. So again, any publicity is good publicity, negative or not so negative, is lukewarm. So Bernard Brown, what do you guys say to them Dallas Cowboy fans to let them know that 90s are over with? It's not about the return. Give it up, please.
Hey, you won't see Emmitt Smith. You won't see Akins. You won't see Michael Irvin. You won't see none of them come back and save the Cowboys. And like you said, Coach Rob, it's about revenue. It's about revenue. And every time you mention the Dallas Cowboys, that's A1 for them. You know, they probably won't never win a Super Bowl again. They just, you know, I'm tired of talking about it because they're not the American team. You know who the American team is? The American team is OBM. Y'all tune in because you don't get nothing like this here. Trust me, on Ebony Sports Reporter. That's American team right there. Us.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's a good commercial, isn't it?
Touchdown.
Hey man, I ain't got my contract yet.
Yeah, you got it. You
The
got
lawyer's still working on it.
Hey, ask your mom to take one of those contracts he tearing up to give you one.
Don't worry, I'm gonna hire one of my good friends' attorney. Dr. Jamal know who I'm talking about. I'm gonna use her attorney to get my contract.
That's why I told y'all I gotta be the straight man with these jokers right here. Oh my God! So we'll roll on. DeMar DeRozan, MVP. What's your thoughts on that, Julius Hall?
He's playing like the MVP, but I think Chris Paul was clearly the MVP before he went down. Clearly. Yeah. It wasn't even close. Chris Paul was. So
Hold on. What?
We
Say it again. Chris
Paul was the clear MVP before he went down.
For State Farm Insurance? For State Farm Insurance? Oh, okay. For State Farm. Oh, okay.
So don't y'all bother me. That's still my MVP. I'll cut it off right there. He is still the league MVP.
Okay. All right. So Coach DeLoach, DeMar DeRozan, MVP?
No, he's playing good basketball. But when you're talking about Giannis and Joel Embiid, I mean, man, those guys are doing some phenomenal things, and they're young. Yeah. You know, so I like DeMar. He's been around a while. Yeah. I mean, he's good for Chicago, but it's going to be hard to top Joel Embiid and Giannis. Two spectacular young men.
Yeah.
All right. Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts on DeMar?
No, I don't think he MVP. They're just having a good year in Chicago. My thought is the MVP is your boy from Philadelphia, what Coach Ross said, and y'all sleeping on that Memphis guy.
John Morant.
John Morant. I think the top one is number one to be, and the second one is the highlights show. That boy is must see TV. Must see TV, man. Trust me.
If he was in LA and New York, he'd be all over the screen.
He'd be all right.
He's in a small market in Memphis. I mean, okay.
Yeah. And how many scholarship this boy had, Coach Rob? How many scholarship he had?
He didn't have any. He ended up at Murray State because nobody knew about him.
That's right.
He actually played on the same AAU team with Zion Williamson.
Right. And they found him in the back gym. One of the coaches from Murray found him in the back gym. And now look at this boy here. Yeah, even though Zion was number one, but this boy is showing off. So I said Embiid gonna be should be MVP, and then if not, it's Morant, and then it's Jewish boy.
Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis. There you go. Not State Farm guy, but yeah.
and since Coach Deloach and Coach Brown want to go and bring up something, I was going to have something to feed off of, but they had to throw it up there. So how do you think people feel now with regards to taking Zion before taking Ja?
Nah, I would have talked Zion. Like I said, I met the little young fella. Zion got a weight problem. Zion is if he didn't constantly get hurt, I'm telling you right now, man, this boy, this is a bad dude. If he can stay healthy, Zion will be number one. I mean, I seen this young guy do things that people ain't never seen, man. And I never seen nobody slammed on three people at one time. If Zion get him, if he's like with Charles Barkley, overweight and everything, if he get him the right person to deal with him, he lose some weight, he get on a diet, and he should be okay. It's all these nick injury he got, but I still would, if I had to choose number one, I would still get Zion. I would still get Zion.
Well, with gaining weight and stuff like that, he's not as hungry as he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They got all this money now.
Yeah.
So that money breeds contentment. And they're not as hungry as they used to be. Mm-hmm. Now he's laying there with money. He's sleeping on piles of money.
Yeah.
So you don't have that passion for the game no more because you done got all the money that you can get. Well, you can get way more because he's young.
Yeah.
But he don't have that desire. He just got so much money at that young age. Yeah. It makes a big difference.
The other thing, he ended up going to New Orleans where they got some of that damn food that make you don't want to get up.
You're right.
He should have sent him to Utah.
Man, you're right. He should have sent him to Utah, Denver.
Yeah.
There, damn New Orleans, man.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one, Coach.
Them beignets and crawfish and redfish and jambalaya and red beans and rice. Hey, come on, man. The big fella just
got me hungry already.
I know it. You're right, Coach. You got a good point, boy. That food will get you. It'll get you.
It's almost like putting one of them warm legs across your boy when you're trying to get up and go to work.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That same subject.
But this is Ebony Sports Reporters. This is not America After Dark. This is not the Rabble. Understand that again. Oh my God.
The one thing I would say about Zion, I had a chance to meet him when my son was being recruited by South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I was amazed when we came out of Coach Muschamp's office and Zion was standing in the hallway. And I was kind of like, man, that's Zion Williamson. But the thing with Zion, for people who followed him, they showboated him every chance they got.
Yeah.
And Zion was on everybody's dunk contest, everybody's radar. And while he was dunking, he was not developing his game.
Yeah.
So now you're in the NBA at 6'5", 280 pounds, where the game now is not about dunking. It's about shooting a three ball and running the court.
Yeah.
So he's almost kind of like,
Yeah.
Because you got John Morant doing what he's doing at 6'2".
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
and he's explosive, but Zion, he may
yeah.
go down as a bust.
Yeah. But you know what, too, Coach? It's like this. If you're a good coach, right? And I understand what you're just saying. But what you do is Zion is not in the system for him. If you put Zion in the system that's for him, it's more like spreading out the threes and all that. But you put him in the system. Same thing with Charles Barkley. He went to the right place because he had to sit behind Moses Malone, and he got in the system where Charles Barkley couldn't shoot. Only thing Charles Barkley could do is rebound and play good defense, and then he developed his game. I think if Zion get out of New Orleans, I think if Zion get out of New Orleans and may go to a coach that gonna put him in the right system and get on his butt about weight and all that, he'll be okay.
Bernard,
I ain't gonna give up on him yet.
Bernard, if you pay me $20 million, I'm gonna adapt and I'm gonna overcome.
Yeah, but he got a girlfriend now. He got a girlfriend now, though.
We're not gonna make excuses for him because, if he's old enough to sign that contract, then he got to get out there and work.
Yeah, right. You're right. You're
right. So until he proves himself, what GM is going to take him? And he hasn't done anything. He's been injured for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, he played in the All-Star game last year, so he just it's just this whatever he got is keep langing. So I ain't gonna give up on him yet, Coach.
Okay.
We'll come back next year and we'll be talking about the same thing. We want to be talking about Zion.
So we're going to move on to something else. We're going to move on to another topic. This is a serious topic, and I'm going to start with a person. I want him to, and I have to preface this to all you out there checking out the show, share. And I have to preface this by saying, again, to a person who I'm going to ask this question to first, this is a serious question. But he's noted to just go ahead and just brush it off with a little smart remark and just laugh to himself, and they get y'all try to laugh too. And so I have to bring this up and say that, why is it that Carolina and Florida can have successful hockey teams, but Atlanta, Georgia cannot? And they have failed twice with regards to the Flames and the Thrashers. Why can you have, again, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes, that they are able to even win NHL titles, is win the Stanley Cup? Why does Georgia fail all the time, Bernard Brown?
Hey.
See that? Look at it. Look at it. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Georgia is all black. It's a black city. Ain't no black brothers gonna be proud of playing no hockey. You know what I'm saying? The white boys, and we ain't got too many white boys even talking about playing hockey. That's why we can't see. And at the end of the day, Georgia's not gonna support no hockey team, and that's the problem. They're gonna support the basketball, the football, and the baseball. They are not going to support no hockey team here. At the end of the day, they'll support the script club before they even support the hockey team. I'm just saying, Jamal. I'm just saying.
And I support him too. I support him too.
He got a good point. And they're gonna support the racetrack before they support hockey.
Right.
They're not coming to play to do no hockey.
Nigga, coach, you better shut up, coach. Oh.
It's white.
I ain't gonna tell you when it's swami. You better not do it.
White.
Jamal gonna kill all y'all.
No.
White.
My contract has told me for Ebony Sports Reporter, I must be the straight person because of all the other insanity the insanity that goes on the show. I gotta be the straight person, so I understand. Now I try to come with something serious, but again, I know how, and I knew the mindsets of certain people. Julius Hall, he said his little comment last week when I brought something about soccer, but I just go and say I'm going to talk to myself right now. Julius Hall, what do you think? Because in Savannah, y'all have a hockey tournament at the Civic Center that's going to probably not be at the arena. That's done with Georgia Tech, UGA, I think Florida and South Carolina. That's done every year. And now y'all have the Ice Pirates also. That y'all got a hockey team. That's right there. So Julius Hall, as I say, I'm shuddering as to what your response is going to be. I'm just shuddering.
Well, let me try to give you a great response, my brother. I think that they should take and bring the hockey team from Atlanta here. Get rid of the Ice Pirates. Bring the hockey team here since these people think that we are such great supporters of hockey. Bring it here. Let's show them that's going to fail too. Because I'd rather watch grass grow than to go watch hockey.
And let me be fair, because I've been around them. I want to say Ice Pirates. We know that's not the thing. It's the Ghost Pirates. So
Ghost
again,
Pirates,
let me be fair, because now people think that I'm engaging with you all with your foolishness with regard to this when this is a serious subject matter. But again, Charlotte is a black city. Black people in Charlotte, black people in Florida. You know, they in Miami. You got even Chicanos, you got Latinos, they're all there. Black folks right there, they support them. But we'll move on because I see how this goes with regard to these people I'm dealing with right now. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, they got a love fest. They back together in love. What do you think? How long is that going to last? Kyler Murray and the Cardinals back in love.
It's all about the dollars, man. So he's playing on his rookie deal. And now, before the rookie deal expires next year, he's trying to get renegotiated so he can get that second contract. I mean, that's just what they do. You know, Kyler's a hell of a damn quarterback to be 5'8".
Yeah,
you know, playing in the NFL when he had guaranteed money coming out of college to play baseball, and he turned it down to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
But if football doesn't work out, he's still young enough to go play Major League Baseball.
Yeah. And then what happened was the coach came out this week and supported him. He said, "Hey, Kyle, he's my man. I ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in the front office because it's a business, but he's my quarterback, and that's who I'm sticking with." And once he said that, you know, man, get that man his money. Get that man his money at the end of the day. Because to be honest, who watching Arizona? You know,
before him.
Right. Come on now. They
had Larry Fitzgerald.
Who was throwing the ball?
He was on his way down.
He went down. I'm like, who going? If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even be in the playoff. You know, playoff. You know, come on, playoff. Come on, Arizona. Ain't nothing in this Arizona but Charles Barkley spending his money. That's it. Nah, get that man his money, man. Get that man his money. And I think he making what? $498,000 in his rookie contract, I believe. I'm not sure. I know it's 400. I know it's in the thousand. It ain't no million. So get that man his money.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Coach Julius Hall, what's your thoughts? Go ahead.
He deserves it, Jamal. He needs to get his money. He's playing great. He has this boy is exciting. You want to go and see the Arizona Cardinals play. Who wanted to see the Arizona Cardinals before he got there? I did. You better not bring them on. I'll find something else to go do.
Right.
But now, if Kyler Murray is playing, I'm sitting there watching the game.
Yeah.
And also,
you got to pay for it, for what's happening. You know?
Also, he's a black quarterback.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they tend not to want to pay them because they say they're not the traditional quarterbacks.
Yeah. But hey, they filling the stands up, so whatever. And they're winning.
All right. So now we move on to the three greatest Braves, Atlanta Braves. Excuse me, not just Atlanta, Boston Braves, Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves. Three greatest Braves, and we start with Julius Hall. Who are the three greatest Braves in your opinion?
Hey, but one Braves, and that's the Atlanta Braves. I don't care where they've been at before. The greatest Brave of all time is Hank Aaron. The second greatest Brave was Ron Gant to me, who they never should have got rid of. And the third greatest is Chipper Jones. So, and we had great pictures, and I ain't even named the picture. We had great pictures along the way with Glavine and Smoltz and them. You know, so those are my three.
All right. Coach Rob DeLoach.
Well, I'm going to say Hank Aaron is the greatest. And I'm going to throw Dale Murphy in there. And then I'm going to have to throw Tom Glavine before I throw Chipper Jones. The Chipper doesn't stand up for much other than himself. So that's a whole nother topic. So I'm not going to give him that platform.
All right.
You know,
Bernard Brown. Go ahead, Coach. Continue.
No, I just say Hank Aaron, Dale Murphy, and Tom Glavine.
Bernard Brown.
I say Hank Aaron, Dale Murphy, and Ron Grant. Those are the only three that I think, you know, worthwhile mention, you know, when it comes to Atlanta Braves, you know, period. Yeah.
How about Deion Sanders?
Deion was more like he was a highlight film.
Showboat.
He brought in the money.
A must see.
Oh yeah.
Must see. You're right. You're right. But he said one of the greatest. So, you know.
Yeah, I'll say the three greatest.
Now, one of the greatest for Atlanta Falcons was Deion Sanders. But when it came to Atlanta, you know, I go with those three.
I wasn't watching the Braves unless Deion was playing. I'm watching.
You know what? The Braves was the only I could listen to the Braves right now today. I don't care who on the team. I'm a Braves fan for some reason, like these crazy people, Atlanta Falcons fan. I don't know how they could be. At least I won 2 championships as a Brave. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons, cut their throats.
And so
we forgot about Dusty Baker.
Right. And I'm gonna throw out Hank Aaron, Crime Dog Fred McGriff, and also Babe Ruth. Some people don't realize Babe Ruth also played for the Braves. But again, Julius want to dismiss it. He don't care about the Boston Braves or Milwaukee Braves, because that's, again, when you look at the stats, they are factored into the stats. But I'm just throwing it out there. So the Atlanta Braves have had 2 of the home run champions. I mean, the Braves organization had 2 of the home run champions. No other athletic MLB can go and say that. So I just throw that out there. Not that I'm a real big fan of them, but I move on because there's no telling with regard to this group of people that we're dealing with right now. So again, because you know they get a little beside themselves. So now we go to the NFLPA. They had said no more COVID testing. No more COVID testing. They said numbers going down. So Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts with regards to that? NFLPA say no more COVID testing.
Yeah. And to be honest, they man, look at the fans, man. The NFL, you know, they wasn't wearing no masks anyway. You know, fans in the stand, they wasn't wearing no masks. And at the end of the day, what it is, to be honest, I think they don't want to have the situation that they having in New York with Kyrie. You know, he only can play away or whatever. So the NFL said, you know what? And then for a player, let's go one step ahead and just get rid of it. I mean, but to be honest, I haven't heard much about, and it's just me, I haven't heard much about the COVID. I haven't much about the mask. It's just like gradually just flowing away. And this is my opinion, and that's I think. But for them to do that, they just don't want to have the situation they having now. So they just throw it out the window. They look at this here. The fans come to see us play, and ain't none of them wearing no mask. So, you know, at the end of the day, they don't mess up our revenue. So that's what happened.
Well, Julius Hall, what's your thoughts on that, Julius Hall?
Well, I didn't know they had any protection in place. I didn't know they had any protocols for masks. Hell, I look up in the stands in college and pro. I can't see near person with a mask.
Right.
So, what protocols? I didn't see any. You know, so it ain't no news to me. I knew they wasn't. All they saying is you ain't got to put it in your pocket no more. That's all. You ain't got to put it in your pocket no more.
Boy, you're on the road tonight, boy. You're on the road.
See, America, do you see what's going on in America? Do y'all see how, again, Julius said something and how Bernard Brown hypes him up? See, he's the hype man. I told y'all, it is a Tompkins High School thing tonight. It's a Beach High School thing tonight. And so that's we now segue to you, Coach Rob DeLoach, Coach Julius Hall, Coach Bernard Brown, Coach Rob DeLoach. What's your thoughts with regards to that?
Coach Rob want to use that credit card.
The other thing is that they probably realized that probably 95% of the players have been probably been vaccinated as well. So it's always going to be that small percentage that for whatever reason they try to make it about themselves. So evidently the numbers say, hey, we can protect our brand by the amount of men and coaches and executives that decide to get vaccinated. It's why I think they really relaxed the policy. And then, people across the country are getting vaccinated. Although those ones that say they're not getting vaccinated, they ass vaccinated, trust me. But they got to keep the narrative going that they're anti-vaccine, anti-mask. But I can guarantee you, they in the lines before me and you. So don't get it twisted. And at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business decision. As long as they can protect their brand, then they're fine. If you choose not to, then that's on you. It's like anything else, like wearing the seatbelt. You got to do it. If you choose not to, don't expect to collect no money at the end of the day.
All right. Yes, sir. So we're now going on to this. James Harden. James Harden had a great night. He had a great night. He even said to some of his peers, "Are you going to play tonight?" So what you think, Coach Deloach, about James Harden, his debut with regard to the 76ers? What you think with regards to that? What's your thoughts?
It just goes to tell you these guys know how to play the game off the court. Yeah. He basically didn't want to play in New Jersey for whatever reason, with Kyrie and KD. And then he kind of worked his way out and got back to what he felt comfortable where he can showcase his talent. And, James is trying to get the next contract too. That's why he's got suspension. Yeah. So now he gets to show playing with Embiid in Philly that he is that true point guard and he's a game changer. And, the first few games, he's the old James Harden. Yeah. And it goes to tell you, he's not that guy that needs to play with 3 or 4 different superstars. He can play with one and then make everybody else around him better. I think it was a great move for him, and he's playing exceptional basketball. Mm-hmm. And he got Doc Rivers, too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts with regards to James Harden and his debut?
Yeah. I'm going to piggyback off of what Coach said. And I told him before, I said, James Harden, basically, one thing I like about him, he marketed himself. And he got to realize the person that running Philadelphia now, the general manager and the president, they were the one got him in Houston. They used to be president, general manager for Houston. Now they're at Philadelphia. So they already wanted Harden. And the way Harden, that's why I say Embiid going to be MVP because of Harden. Now you spreading the floor. Now you go one-on-one down in that pink and you killing them. Because now you got Harden over here and then you got the other ball over here. So they Harden and Embiid, they close to averaging, to be honest, the last 3 games, 30 points, 30, 12, 5, 10. If Philly they need one more piece, and if they can get that one more piece, I see them playing for the NBA championship, Philadelphia and Golden State. Remember I say that, Philadelphia and Golden State.
All right. So, Julius Hall, what's your thoughts? And that do not include Chris Paul in this, okay? When you respond, do not include Chris Paul. Please, go ahead, sir.
No Chris Paul.
Coach Julius Hall, go ahead.
Listen, obviously, I don't know what basketball y'all be looking at, or the world be looking at. James Harden is one of the best shooters in the whole NBA, bar none. Mm-hmm. You have to go get Steph Curry to even come close. Mm-hmm. This boy can flat out play. Yeah. I would build my team only around him like he was in Houston, turned lights out. He shouldn't have never been the sixth man in Oklahoma. This boy is it shouldn't be no tip-off without him starting on the floor. Nowhere in the NBA. This boy's like that. He's a pure shooter. Mm-hmm. I would shoot the ball. I used to do. I was so good back in my day. I used to shoot the ball. Go back down the other side of the court.
Yeah. Hey.
Did y'all just hear this? Did y'all just witness again to everyone looking at Ebony Sports Report? Did you not hear Bernard Brown go say, yeah, just rub his stamp of what Julius Hall said? This is what I'm telling y'all. I think what's going to happen, we're going to have one of them on the show. We can never let both of them be on the show anymore. That, again, has to be one or the other. We can never let both of them be on the show because, again, oh, my God. My God.
They love us, man. And then we going to give Coach Rod a contract. And that's all we did there,
That's
man.
right.
We good. Hey,
Right.
we tell people, hey, this is a different, and like you said, Jamal, when you came on, this is a different kind of sports show right here. We tell it like it is, and we give people information that other people don't. This ain't ESPN. We better than ESPN.
That's
Trust
right.
me.
Move over, Stephen A.
That's
Move
right.
over, Shannon Shaw.
That's it.
Hey, Dr. Jamal, if you don't act right, we're going to pivot like Ryan Clark and the Mother Boys did and start our own podcast. You better get in line.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll throw this out here. This weekend, what happened, and the first time in NCAA history, where you have, like, I think the first top 6 teams in the country all lost away games this weekend. So what do you think that hails for March Madness and who's going to win the national championship? Because last week we asked about Gonzaga. So what does that say? Because all of them lost. Only one of them rebounded. I think Arizona one rebounded last night with regard to victory. Go ahead, Coach Deloach. You had your hand up.
So understand this here.
I'm frightened to hear what you're about to say. When you said understand this right here, that automatic, that already scared me right there.
Each conference, right? It's all about money for the conference. If those top 6 teams are already going to be in the NCAA tournament, okay? They don't have anything to prove at this point. Mm-hmm. But the more teams that they can get out of their conference is more money generated for the conference. Mm-hmm. Let me take an example. The SEC with Alabama, right? Vanderbilt, because they're in the SEC, got $54.2 million for their school because they're in the SEC conference. So when you can get more schools from your conference into the tournament, it's more money for the conference to share amongst the schools. So there's no need for Gonzaga. They're going to get in the tournament anyway. Arizona's going to get in the tournament. Baylor's going to get in the tournament. All of those top teams are going to get in the tournament. But if you see it, it's, oh, man, the team that won 5 games beat the number 1 team. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know, when the conference tournament starts, it's going to be some upsets with that number 9 team beating the 1 team because the 1 team is already in the tournament. So it's a business, Dr. Jamal, with these conferences when it comes to basketball. All football is not supposed to happen, but up under the table, hey, we need to make money for the conference. So sometimes, you know, you get a call and the regular season, it's a foul, but it's tournament time now. That team on the bottom is hungry, and we're trying to get them in the tournament. And that number 8 team is going to end up winning the conference and get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. It is a business.
Yeah.
I am not frightened to ask one of the other 2 to respond because there's no telling what's going to happen. So, but again, I shudder. But I will go on and move to Coach Julius Hall. What is your thoughts with regards to this, Coach Julius Hall?
Baseball and basketball are unlike football. Football, you have a lot of skill positions. Basketball, you just got to put the ball in the rack, anybody on the court. Baseball, your best hitters and pitchers win the game. Now, in basketball, it's some Division III schools that have whipped Arizona, Baylor, and the rest of them every single day.
Yeah.
They just don't play them.
Yeah.
They just don't play them. Mm-hmm. So the skill set in those particular sports are not, you don't have to be on a higher level. You just got to be playing your best game that day.
Yeah.
That you play your best game that day, ain't nobody going to beat you.
Yeah.
Nobody. In basketball especially. And if your bat's ringing in baseball, ain't nobody going to beat you either with that pitching. But in football, everybody got a skilled position. It's 11 people on that field, and they all got to be playing in unison. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Was that good enough for you?
Yes, sir. So now we move on to Coach Bernard Brown. What's your thoughts, your perspective?
Hey, but if y'all look at this here too, the reason why we having a lot of upsets and the reason why things are going the way it's going is because 2 of the most big time conference is going down to bottom. The Big East is gone. The ACC is gone. The Big East, some of the school from the Big East going somewhere else, and because like Coach Rob said, the money. They going to the money conference. They going to and so the Big Time Conference not winning like they used to win. So you start March. Well, they starting by in a couple weeks. To be honest, I don't know who's gonna win the college basketball period, because there's so many teams can get upset, and that's in girls and boys. I hope, and with the girls with South Carolina, they done tucked over for Connecticut, because Connecticut, they don't get the people that they normally get anymore. But that's another subject. But at the end of the day, anybody can win either way. It's about money, and for them to tear up the Big East and the ACC. When the last time you were at North Carolina? North Carolina is almost to the bottom. Then you talking about with the Big East with Georgetown, Villanova, and all that. You know, so
Georgetown is 0-16 in the conference.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, they 0-16, but if they win like they did last year and win their conference, then they're in the NCC, they're in the big dance. They're in the big dance.
That's my point.
You know, so you never know what might happen, Jamal, and that's my point. And I appreciate you coming to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so to throw it out there, so Coach Deloach, you threw something out there that kind of bleeds into what some people call like almost like conspiracy type theories with regards to, again, they're doing whatever necessary, and that sometimes you may not push it as hard as if again. This is like, say, if this is November, if this is December, if this is October, that again, because you're trying to make sure you got everything. You know, with regard to the committee, you don't want anything to damage you in the committee yet. You don't want to have that Texas Southern beating you in November. And so then that brings down, again, your rating with regard to the committee. So that's an interesting perspective with regards to that. So, and then Bernard Brown threw something out, which he was not supposed to be doing that, but he want to throw it out there. And we do want to want to give some announcement with regard to Dawn Staley and the work that she's doing at the University of South Carolina. And so what's your thoughts with regard to Dawn Staley, Julius Hall? Again, frightened to ask you that question because there's no telling what you're about to do, because you're going to probably try to throw in Chris Paul some way or something like that.
No, I'm not going to throw Chris in right now. He hurt. I'm going to talk about Dawn Staley and what she's doing there. Dawn Staley, I would love to see Savannah State girls play them because they need that type of level of play from a Division I school, putting them to the test.
Well, Savannah State did. Excuse me, I just thought Savannah State did play when they were in the MEAC. They did play South Carolina.
Yeah, and they lost in the first round. Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to play them now. Savannah State, what, 27-1?
Yeah.
And we need to put these girls to the test. Even if after the season over, I want to see whether we can get them all together and let's see if they come down to Savannah State and we play them.
Yeah.
You know? I like what Dawn Staley is doing. I like the way that these college basketball, the women's game has shifted from UConn and Stanford over to Baylor, South Carolina.
Right.
You know, other schools get a chance to shine now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Coach Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts with regards to Dawn Staley, Coach Dawn Staley?
Hey, she you know what, she's doing a fantastic job. Like I say, I remember when she was young, and she's doing a great job. One thing I'm so happy about her is that she is the United States basketball coach. So when they go to United States basketball, when they go to the Olympics, she's gonna be the head coach. It's not gonna be the UConn. So she and the great player. She the what's the girl name? First time ever getting a statue in any college. She played for, I forgot her name, and it's because of Dawn and because the girl, she grew up in South Carolina. She said, guess what she said? She said her grandmama, when they was growing up, her grandmama couldn't even cross the street to walk to South Carolina College. Now her grandmama got her daughter's statue in South Carolina. Now that's history. Case closed. That's history.
Coach Delos, what's your thoughts with regards to Coach Dawn Staley?
Well, Dawn is an ambassador for women's basketball. She's probably last of the true real Olympians when you look at her history of playing basketball at a high level. With Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Swoops, she's with that clan of great women basketball players, and she's just taken that from being a leader at the University of Virginia, and she came from a small market school, but Dawn is a true point guard. She's a true leader. She's a winner at every level. So it's easy for those young ladies and their parents to play at the University of South Carolina versus going all the way up to Stork, Connecticut, where there's nothing but basketball. And that's why the dynamics have shifted to, Columbia, South Carolina with Dawn Staley. Before Tennessee was a dynasty.
Right.
It was Connecticut.
Yeah.
And, the late Pat Summitt, I mean, she knew the game.
Yeah.
And then Connecticut had a run now, Coach Dawn Staley is having her run, and she's young, she's energetic, she know how to fit in with the young ladies. But I love that young lady at Texas A&M, boy, the way she dressed, boy, she got everybody's attention. So these young sisters are coming back, giving back to the game. They represent, the game very well. And, I'm on board.
You fit in so well right here.
Email me my contract.
Hey,
it's on the way,
boy. You giving Bank America some advertisement on every.
Well, one day we're gonna have our own banks, and then we're gonna have it's gonna be our the four-headed monster. We're gonna have our bank.
That's right.
Why not?
Yeah. So swipe that card again. Oh Lord, I'm having a flashback. Oh Lord, go ahead.
Oh boy.
All I need is some lemon pepper wings, and it's on.
That's it.
Mr. Producer, don't just mute Bernard Brown. Take him off the screen and mute him. See, again, this is what I'm talking about. It's not me. Yes, it is you.
That was
again.
confirmed. It's not me, man.
But you are the hype man. You hype it all up. You just go. So I'm gonna throw some. I'll go throw out another name of someone too. That's important too. Delisha Milton. Oh, with regard to Dawn Staley also, she's also have now aided and abetted African-American females as coaches within the women's basketball game also. So that's something too that we should tout her for, because again, she has not aided and abetted and been an example for them also, encouraging and increasing the numbers of African-American women who are also coaches on the women's level with regard to basketball. And Delisha Milton Jones out of Riceboro, Georgia, who's won championships on all levels as Olympian and professionally, and with regards to on the collegiate level too. Delisha right here out of Riceboro, Georgia, right there with the Bradwell. So we give her mad props. Now, and I hate that this is the last subject, pretty much, because I'm frightened for me to even bring this up. Because again, the people I'm dealing with right now, I think we might have to find some other people. I need to check my contract out and see, do I have the option to go and tell the owners and that I need to get some other people who be serious about the show, because again, they got their job.
Chapter 5, paragraph 4, article 13.
Okay. Let me see something. I'm looking for it. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm tearing it up.
Hey.
So what I'll throw out to you is that there's a baseball team here called the Savannah Bananas. Now, Savannah Bananas has been recognized that they have segments on ESPN. People talk about how you have the euphoria of going to watch a baseball game that has fun tied to it, excitement tied to it, where the fans are involved, but then it brings out, they have the various themes that go on. So it's not like the traditional where they view baseball game. And then I have to go and say that there's someone who's a graduate of Benedictine Academy and also graduate of Savannah State, Alex Pierce, who's a baseball pitcher, a right-hand baseball pitcher, and he is now been basically chosen to be the last addition to the Savannah Bananas. And so I throw that out there to say, give acknowledgement to Alex Pierce, who again, one of those great young men out of Savannah, Georgia, and went to BC, but then graduated from Savannah State. And so I'll ask the perspective. What's your thoughts with regard to Savannah Bananas? But I'm kind of frightened about what's going to happen when I ask that question. Julius Hall.
I think that is awesome. Just like Lamar Owens Jr. having the opportunity to potentially be the head coach at Savannah State, we will probably be in the stands in Grayson Stadium, whatever they named it now, to see this young man pitch. So they need to be telling us when he's pitching so that we can fill the stands, because we will be there. So I heard he's an awesome pitcher. So, let's see whether we can support this young man, y'all.
All right. Coach Rob DeLoach.
First of all, Alex comes from a great family out of Runaway Point. His sister was a standout basketball player at Johnson High School, where she won a state championship as well. And he's a phenomenal young man. I'm excited that he has this opportunity to be hopefully the face of Savannah Bananas baseball team, being an African-American Negro black boy from Swamp City here in Savannah. So I'm excited. That's breaking news to me. I'm going to have to reach out to Alexis and, find out, when we can go out and support him in this, his dream.
Yeah.
Yes. Coach Bernard Brown. This is not about strip club, please. This is not about strip club. Even though they do stuff like that in the Savannah Banana, they have all type of things, but this is not about strip club, please.
No. Hey, congratulations to the young man. But I have a question. Where did you get the Savannah Banana? Where that come from? I'm just asking.
No, that after the Sand Nest were no longer here, then again, like other places, they go and ask about, hey, what would be a great name, and so folks put that out there, and so the name came Savannah Bananas, and they have won championships actually on the Coastal Plains League. They have winning championships, and what it is, they have a unique brand of baseball. And I'll throw this out there because, again, we winded down the last 3 minutes now. Unless Bernard Brown got something else he want to say with regard to that, because, with him, he'll throw stuff out there, then it just be at, and I'm not certain. So anything else you want to add? Since you look at it, shaking his head,
hey.
The devil is busy with him. The devil is busy with him.
Hey, I want to say this since we got 3 minutes. Hey, y'all doing a great job, and our contract with Julius Halls is we got it now. I think we got our top 4 that's gonna be running this Ebony Sports Show, and I enjoyed the night, and I'm gonna kick it back on to you, Jamar.
All right, thank you. But what I will share with you, and people look at this, and when I look at the Savannah Bananas, I go and say something, and some people will not realize that. But again, guess what is coming out on the Ebony Sports Show? That what they're doing with regards to the Savannah Bananas, that was part of what's happened, how they did it with regard to the Negro Leagues. So, and many people don't realize that they create these niches within the Negro Leagues, and one of them in particular is a team called the Indianapolis Clowns. The Indianapolis Clowns, also called the Ethiopian Clowns. This is some of the things what they did. They had stunts and they had players that had various things on. So again, I go and say, I said that this is basically, they think it's something unique to Savannah. I'm like saying, no, this is the Indianapolis Clowns or the Ethiopian Clowns, and also part of some of the other Negro League teams. So, and that's why I just tell folks, when you know your stuff, you know your culture, you understand how it gets, again, it seeps into other things too. So I just want to throw that out. And Alex is one of my people from Savannah State, so I got mad love for him. And when the voting went on, I made sure to be one of the people to vote. And so that was glad and honored. And so again, I was afraid that when Coach DeLoach was talking about he comes from a great family, he was going to be just like Bernard Brown, talk about, oh yeah, because his parents went to Beach High School and stuff like that, all that. And Bernard Brown was going to say, no,
I'll let you tell it. Run and tell that.
Yeah, run and tell that. There you go. Hey.
Run and tell that.
Hey, Jamal, you got your hand full now. You don't know who you be dealing with.
This has been Ebony Sports Reporters. We say share. The information that was shared with regard to these athletic contracts that are, oh my God. They're just 1 year, just 1 year. And we need to look at, again, we have 4 teams that go to the Elite Eight. And so, again, we need to get those teams to come together and work not just with regard to basketball, but also with regard to education and about the promotion. So we're going to go forward. And to Dr. Robert Bryant, we do not have time to talk about the LFL. The LFL, he has this fascination with them. I don't understand it, but that's not anything we want to talk about because you can have that with Bernard Brown, Coach DeLoach, and Julius Hall. But again, I'm not trying to help them out with that right there because you see they already doing their card. So we turn over to the producer.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with 4 great shows, and we got a whole lot more coming for you. So tune in right here. This network, America After Dark, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tune in. Good night.
Y'all.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right, brother.
All right.
like that.